Alright guys, we're frozen solid in here. Today we're going to be talking about refrigerators and some maintenance that may or may not have to be done. This is a GE profile refrigerator, and you may ask, why is this real estate guy talking to me about refrigerator maintenance and repairs and whatnot? The reason I'm talking to you is because this stuff can get pretty expensive. If you're just a little bit handy, you can do this by yourself. I'm going to show you what to do. You'll find this stuff all over the internet, so there's no lack of access to information to get this stuff fixed. No reason you can't do it on your own. We're talking about this GE refrigerator. The problems that we have is that there's water that keeps coming out on the floor all around this refrigerator. With just a little bit of research on the internet, and you guys are here on the internet, I discovered that the drain lines on this guy like to plug up. So we're going to take this thing apart, we're going to unplug it, pull it out, open it up, and we're going to get all of the ice that's been backing up in this refrigerator. You can see it right in here, a big old chunk of ice right there. This entire panel has got ice behind it. So we're going to clean all that stuff out, and we are going to make this thing serviceable again. First thing we're going to do, I empty out the entire refrigerator. We're going to leave this off and opened up for a while. And so top and bottom are both cleared out. All of these trays, I'm going to take all these trays out as well, so that we have access to the entire back side, so that we can open everything out, get it all thawed out, clean out the drain that's probably frozen shut, and that's why it's leaking all over the place. You can see here we've got a lot of ice in the bottom of this, and that's a direct result of the drain being plugged up. So with this particular freezer and refrigerator, you can turn it off from the control panel right here. Once it's turned off, then I'll probably go ahead and unplug it, but that's essentially how you do it, just like that. Boom, there you go, it's turned off. Now I'll open up the refrigerator. I don't necessarily have to pull the refrigerator out, but I may anyway, just for the sake of showing you guys some stuff. We'll see how that goes. Okay, so we've got pretty much everything out of here. Now, if you take a look, you can see where the drain was clogged up. We've got all kinds of water. I'm gonna use this, and I'm just gonna break this stuff up and pull it out. So right now it's still pretty solid. So I don't want to do anything to crack the plastic. So I'm not being super duper aggressive. Just letting it know who's boss. I'm just going to give it a little bit of time so that it can get onto there. So we're not in a hurry to get this done. Once you're under there, big pieces will come out pretty easily. So we definitely don't want to do anything that is going to mess up the plastic. That's why I'm using a plastic putty knife. Alright, so this drawer is set up like basically a lot of drawers are. We've got stuff going on here. If we push on that little tab, we should get some success, and this entire tray will pop out, the entire dealio. Alright, so to get the door off, you'll see a little pallet right there. You just push in on that, and this entire bar comes out. You do that on both sides. So we're going to do that on both sides. We're going to pull this door completely off. Now that we got them both popped loose, we should be able to pull this entire system out. Alright, now that we have access down here, we're going to be cleaning both of the drains out. So here, we're going to take out this plastic piece. Behind it, directly behind it right there, is going to be the drain for the bottom. And up here, at the bottom of that rectangle piece, it's a little rusty, that's where you're going to find the drain. So here we go. We've got 2 screws on the bottom, 3. 1, 2, 3. And we've got one behind here. Once we do that, this panel should be able to come off. There we go. So now we're going to work this panel off. Let's look at what we've got here. This little piece is all frozen up. That goes down to the drain, and underneath the refrigerator, the freezer, so at the very bottom of this unit is a pan. Everything drips down into that pan, and then it evaporates. So around here, This warms up when it defrosts. It warms up and everything drips off of this stuff down to here. However, you can see that we are froze solid, so nothing's dripping through. So we're going to address that. There we go. So under here, we've got the top draining now. Now we're going to take a look at the bottom. And we've got a couple of screws here and over here that we need to get out of there. And then this whole panel should come off. And we'll be able to see the drain. It should be right about in this area. There we go. So this one, you can see, if I can get my light in there, it's pretty clear, not completely stopped up. There's a little bit of stuff going on there, but it's just about good. But since we're doing this work, we're going to take care of this side too and be done with it. Okay, so you can see the hole right here. To speed the process up, I'm using a turkey baster. I'm taking like boiling water and sticking it down into the drain line, letting it sit in there for just a little bit of time. Then I'm going to suck it out once the water gets cool. And that's just going to speed up the amount of time that it takes to get this system flowing again. I'm also going to go from the back. This is actually a way to do it so you don't have to go through the back. But just for the purposes of this video, I'm going to show you how to do that as well. So I took the back access panel off. It was just 5 screws. Pulled it off. The hose that I showed you, this guy here is going from the refrigerator portion. You don't have access to it up through here. So that melting that I was doing a minute ago, that's how you get the top end fixed. The bottom end, you can look here and you can see here, there we go. It's clear, but it's crunchy, like the rubber is dry rot, whatever, but there is access, so that's fine, not a big deal. Now this one over here is for the freezer. Like I told you, the freezer, there wasn't any issue with it, but since we're doing this project, we're going to take a look at everything while we're at it. And check this out. That sucker is just about plugged up. So I'm going to take a couple minutes and I'm going to clean that out and reinstall it. There we go, guys. We got it to drain. Finally thawed out enough. No problems now. So now that it's drained, we'll just put everything back together. That's it. And then we'll be ready to fire it up.